Hello everyone, welcome to Tech 60. So in the last lecture, we saw how you can build a MERN Stack application. We saw the alternatives to Heroku and where you can deploy it. Cyclic was our one of the favorites where we are going to deploy our built application. Today we are going to do it. So let's get started. As you can see in the front, we have the last created, let's say the build version of our MERN Stack application. We need to make few changes before we are going to deploy it on Cyclic, and we are going to start with that. First things first, I would still like to show you that our application is running. For that, as you can see, I'm in the terminal. In my MERN Stack folder, I will run here, since I'm on the server side, I will run here node index.js. You can see node server has started and MongoDB is connected. On other tab, I will open the client side. I'll show you here. I'm still in the MERN Stack folder, cd client, and then I will run here npm start. This will start my React application. And to show you, as you can see here, enter name. This was the simple React app that we had created. Let's put any name here to see if it is still working. I will open the console side as well and push submit. We did not get any error. I will open MongoDB Compass. If you remember, these were the two names that we had added. On refresh, we should see beta, and we do see it. It means it's running perfectly fine. Okay, great. The first thing that we need to do if you want to deploy your React application is to create a build version of it. And in order to do that, you need to have a build folder inside the client, which will be created automatically through React. And that we are going to do right now. That means in our client folder, you just need to run a command called npm run build. Hit enter. This will go through creating an optimized production build. This will create a build version for you. Let's give it a minute. And there we go. Now if I show you ls, you can see inside we have a build folder created. This we can verify also in our VS Code. Here is the build version. So what it does is all the React code that you have written here, this will all be compressed and created into a static version. So this build file is got created. Here it will consist of a static folder where it will have your CSS and very importantly the index.html file. Currently, if you just scroll it towards the right side, you will see it's all the code that probably you are not going to understand, because this is all compressed. Whatever you have written here is all put into the index.html file. We need to now pass this index.html onto the server side. And to do that, we need to write few further lines of code in the index.js file. For that, we need to use the app.use express.static part.join, and here you will give directory name, that is you will assign, or you will tell that you need to take the build folder from inside my client folder. So go one directory out, search for the client folder, and inside the client folder you will find another folder called build. This is the indication that we need to give to our server side. And there we need to then write. So star basically just represents that the home page, just at the very start of our React app or the complete MERN Stack application, just start from our home page and there send the file. For that we will use res.sendFile part.join. Again we will tell from where it has to look inside the directory, and this time again we will go out one folder, go into the client folder, go inside the client folder, and as I told, inside the build folder we have index.html. So here we will write index.html. After you have done this, there is also one more change that you need to do, or let's say addition that you need to do inside the package.json for the server side. You need to add one line of code called start node index.js. Just simple as that. You need to tell the application that you have to use the command node index.js and it will do it for you. And that's pretty much it. So now we can start doing our deployment. Great. For that, we are going to first use GitHub. So in order to use GitHub, we need to first initialize GitHub inside our directory. I will also stop the node server here just by using Control C and just clear this. Now inside this main folder of MERN Stack, you just have to write git init. With the space, git init, and you can see initialized empty git repository in our MERN Stack folder. I can show you as well ls-a. This will show you the hidden folders, and you can see I have the file name .git or the folder name .git. Inside this, we are going to initialize the GitHub repository. One more thing that we have to do is to also put our .env file inside another file called gitignore. So what gitignore is, basically it's a file which will help you to add any file that the GitHub should ignore while pushing it into your repository, and that can be done very simple. Inside your MERN stack, just write touch.gitignore, and if I do ls-a, you can see we have a new file called gitignore. I can show you here as well. You can see here I have the .gitignore file, and here I will write .env. This is very important because we are not willing to show the world our passwords. The .env file consists of all your passcodes. Even if you are creating a private repository, it is never safe to put your passcodes onto the internet out there. So .gitignore file, what it will do is whatever you will write inside this file, it will start ignoring it and it will not push into your repository. What we can also do is the node modules, we will ignore this, because this is something that once you will again pull your repository in through the terminal, you can always run npm update and it will again download all the node modules from your package.json file. So body parser, codes, .env or whatever you use here can be updated, and you do not need the node modules because this is a really big file which is useless for you after it is being put into your deployment version. Same thing we will do with our client. I think I already have your .gitignore. You can see here this was just an normal template which I had got, and it already consists of node modules file. Great. So this is it. It shows that I have something that is not saved. Let's check. Okay, the .gitignore, I'll save it, and there we go. Now what we can do is we need to completely push our folder inside the GitHub. For that, for sure, you first need a GitHub account. As you can see, I have a GitHub account here. I will go here and create a new repository. So if you go in your repository, you will get an option here saying new. Click on it. We will call this, let's say, just MERN. I will let it be public. I will allow it to add a README file and create a repository. Once you click on it, your whole repository will get created. You will get a link for your file. Just copy this for now. Go back to your terminal, and here in the terminal, since we have created .git or initialized .git inside our MERN stack folder, we can write now git add dot. Git add dot means you are at the moment locally adding all the folders that you want to push into your repository inside the folder of .git. So git add dot means push everything. I can show you here status, and you can see here if you run git status command, you will see what all folders are ready to get pushed. So now I can run the command git commit -m, and you are always supposed to write something. This is a really good practice that you should use. Let's say this is our first commit, so we will write git commit -m, and in double quotes you need to write, or you need to give an indication what you are going to push. So this is my first commit, so I will write first commit. And our all the folders that we had added have now got committed inside our .git folder. Now we need to push them remotely. It means we need to add them in directly to the web server of GitHub inside our MERN repository. So in order to do that, you need to run the command git remote add origin and copy this. Okay, we had already copied that. Once you run this, it will get added. When you run the git remote add origin, you can now try to push origin main. So since we are doing it for the first time, it is going to ask for our username. So username Destiny5 password. So here it is not the password that you have provided for your GitHub account. For that you need to create a new password, and that you can do by going into your settings, scroll down, and you will see here developer settings. Go inside the developer settings, go inside personal access token and select tokens classic and click generate new token. I'm not going to do it for now, but I'll just show you here. You can give any note that you want to give, any expiration date, and select everything, I would say, and then click on generate token. For now, I already have my token and I will copy and paste that. So you will get generated a token. Please save it safely and add that token inside the password and click enter. So for the first time it shows us that it is got rejected, but we can override this by use the same command git push origin main and then write space minus minus force. So we are forcing it to push, and you can see we have successfully pushed it to GitHub. I can show this to you. So if I go to my repository, MERN, and you can see we have pushed everything that we needed. One commit, the name of the commit was first commit, client, we have inside this the public and RSC folder. So I do see here that for some reason it has not pushed our build folder, but that is not a problem. We should check why it has done that and have to rectify it. Okay, I already see it why it has been the case. If you can see here, dot ignore had slash build as well. I need to push the build folder, but so for that you can remove that line, save it. I would say let's remove this, delete, move to trash. I will again go to cd client npm run build, and now again cd out. Now I will do git add and see the status. As you can see, now it is showing client slash build folder as well. This I will now push. So simple. Now I will write git commit added build folder. So now my build folder is committed inside the normal, or let's say inside my hard drive of Mac. Now I have to push it remotely. So I will say git push origin main, and it has pushed. Now let's go to our GitHub repository, refresh the page and go to history, and you can see here added build folder. If I go back to my MERN folder, code, go inside the client, and I will see here the build folder is now added. Perfect. So we have now everything that we need in order to deploy our MERN Stack application onto an alternative of Heroku, that is Cyclic. So let's go to the website of Cyclic. Here the website is www.cyclic.sh. I will go into sign in, continue with GitHub. and it has connected my GitHub repository here. Now I will go to link your own search repository. It gives my repositories that are available. I will click on MERN. It is checking. Connect Cyclic to MERN. Say connect, and it will run completely your MERN Stack application and deploy it for you. It's that simple. One of the disadvantages that I will tell you about Cyclic is that, as you can see here, packaging 39.47 MB. It has a limitation of 240 megabytes. It means that if your completely packaging is more than 240 megabytes, it will give you an error saying that your complete packaging should be less than 240 megabytes. I had that in the past, but a workaround to that is the major size of your complete packaging comes from the images that you use in your application. So the best thing would be to push all your images to cloud storage, let's say Firebase, and put the links of those Firebase storage into your application. So that way you can reduce the size, and also any unwanted node modules that you are using, just remove it and your size will be reduced. There are also other ways how you can reduce the complete size of your React app. Maybe we will see them in the next lectures. But great, now our website is live. Remember that we had environment variables as well. In the environment variables, it is showing us that we had mongo underscore URL. We can click on here, variables, and it will allow us to put our mongo URL inside, so that our backend, or let's say the MongoDB database, is also connected. For now, I will do it in front of you. I will remove my password in this case. So remember that the MongoDB URL that we use inside our .env is under an double quote. But inside the Cyclic, you have to omit those double quotes, and hence the link will look like this. For now, I will add again my username and password, and then click on save, and I will then show you the deployed version. Okay, great. So now my complete environment variables are also set up. I have a link. If you go into the overview tab, you will see here that your app URL link is created. Click on this link and you will see that your app will be running. It's that simple. You can see, you can also forward this link to anyone that you want, and they will be able to open your MERN Stack application. I will also show you that our backend and MongoDB is connected. For that, just give a name here, let's say John, and click on submit. I will now go to MongoDB, refresh it, and you will see John. It got passed in our MongoDB. So that's it, guys. It was that simple. With just few clicks, you were able to deploy the MERN Stack application onto the web, and you have your personalized link. There are also certain advanced options like adding your custom domain, which you might have bought from, let's say, Google Domains. You can add in here, and you will be also able to deploy your MERN Stack application on your own custom domain. Maybe we will do a video on that future. If you were able to learn something new, don't forget to like my video and to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye.